when you start entertaining new people, entertaining new women, new girls, a lot of time you're gonna have your mental energy a lot on that, if that makes sense. It's going to be quite hard at times because you're going to put so much on these things, especially if you like the girl. And even if you don't like the girl an insane amount, even if you're still seeing them and stuff, your mental energy is going to be on them, if that makes sense. And this is what I found a while ago. I remember probably 4 or 5 months ago I had this where my mind was with a girl. Like I don't know how to explain it. It was a short-term thing. So it was a short-term thing. We done short-term stuff like 2 weeks. But during them 2 weeks, my mind was so coherent on that because she wanted me to be with her relationship and this shit, and I didn't want it. And I told her beforehand anyway, before we done anything. And it was weird because I found myself almost just trying to think about the situation and how I can avoid it or get out of it and all that. And my mental energy was on it from that perspective, if that makes sense, instead of from a perspective that I want them. And also from the perspective, if you want someone, like I've had it before, where your mental energy is drained. And I remember I was going through this with around this time, and I went to the gym, I went in the steam room and the sauna, and I was chatting to this guy who's an amazing guy, and he was saying, I told him the situation, and then he said, you can't let someone have the power over your mental health. You can't damage your mental health for someone if you know it's not right, if you know it's not for them. Obviously he's quite a bit older, he's around like 32, and he told me this stuff, and I was like, that's so right, you know, that's so right. You can't have someone deteriorating your mental health if it isn't right for you. And of course they didn't mean to, because they just want to connect with you or whatever they want. They may want a relationship and you don't want it. And the reality is your mind's going to be on that a bit because you're thinking, how do I actually sort this situation out, if that makes sense, and how do I get out of it? Because part of you don't want to just completely disregard the person in a sense because it's fun and because you get on or whatever, but then the other part of you really doesn't want to take it serious. So what do you do in that perspective, you know? And that was one of the goodest messages I've ever received really from that bloke, because it really helped me when I thought about it, you know? Really helped me, and I was like, yeah, that's right. And then it fell apart like a day before. Like we just decided, she's like, I want a relationship. I was like, cool. But we kind of just ended it on them terms, kind of coolish, but on a real level, you can't let someone hurt your mental health. And she's happy now. I think she got a boyfriend. Happy for her, you know? Happy for you. It went right for me and her, so that's okay, you know? Move on, you know what I mean? But yeah, on a real level, if someone is damaging, not even damaging, like taking up your mental health because the person doesn't mean to, you can't constantly stay in that when you got things you want to achieve, if that makes sense. If something isn't serving you right, a lot of times there's more energy that you got to expend on that doesn't even help you, that hurts you in a sense over time, because you're not going to achieve the true version of yourself because you got these distractions, if that makes sense. And it's a big distraction women at times if it's not the right time for you, if that makes sense. If it's not the right time for you, or if it's not someone who fits in your life perfectly, it's not worth having that distraction, if that makes sense at times. Because a lot of people say, oh yeah, pussy, yeah, I want some pussy or whatever, but on a real level, like it's not the biggest thing ever, is it? You know? And you've got to have that mindset, that abundance mindset, that you're going to find what you want anyway. You can't have this mindset that you're never going to get it, this is my only chance. And a lot of men get in that mind state where they think, oh, this is the only girl, so I'm going to go for it. But if they just held out a bit, they'd be able to build themselves in a better version, and then before you know it, you have people who are more fitting for that life, for your life, if that makes sense, you know? People who fit in better. And that's going to be the message in this video. Don't let your mental health be taken up by something that you know won't serve you. That's going to be the real message. Don't let your mental health be taken up. And a lot of people don't speak about this with women, if that makes sense, because a lot of them online would say, oh yeah, like do this, but they didn't really have much experience in these scenarios, in these situations, or different experiences. Like I've had so many different relationships now, like in regards to how they are and different ways, and obviously people is different, so you treat people differently and you got to act differently. And yeah, it's just one of these things, man. You don't want your mental energy taken up from something that you know isn't right, if that makes sense, deep within. You know that's not right for you, and I don't want you lot in that position. This is one of the biggest lessons I learned last year with this stuff, and that's going to be the overall message, man. Don't let your mental health and your mental energy be kind of taken up by something that won't help you long term, or won't lead you to where you want to be, or isn't right for your life, if that makes sense. And there's no harm in saying, oh, this is not right, we can end this, you know? as much as you don't want to hurt that other person, but on a real level, sometimes you have to, in a sense. And I've had people who's done that to me. I've done it to people. Like, it's the reality of this stuff. It's the reality of sport. Things don't work out. Relationships, everything can't work out. That makes sense. Certain people aren't right for you, and that's the reality of this stuff. You know, that's reality. You can't be right for everyone. You know, and that's gonna be the real message in this video. Hope you lot got a lot of value. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.